We keep following the Men's Volleyball Nations League, and up next, Day 2 of this week's action. Let's go over the results and the biggest highlights together right now. There are 6 matches on the schedule today, and before we dive in, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Although, who am I kidding? I'm starting either way. But hey, still hit that like button. We kick things off with Germany versus Canada, two teams that over the past few years have really made a name for themselves when it comes to 5-set thrillers. So how could this one not go to a fiery 5 sets? That's exactly what we got. Canada was in control for most of the first set, but they crumbled at the worst possible moment, letting Germany go on a 4-point run to steal the set at the finish line. After that, the team started trading sets. Germany looked solid in the end of set 4 and even had a shot at a comeback after letting the momentum slip earlier, but in the end, tie-break. And that's when Canada, fired up by their home crowd, became unstoppable in the final stretch of the 5th set. A great way to kick off the new head coach's journey with a win. Germany's outside hitter Eric Roers was the top scorer of the match with 20 points, but even that wasn't enough to secure a win. The final result and match stats are already on your screen. Meanwhile, in Rio, Slovenia versus Cuba. I was expecting a real battle here, but that only lasted for 2 sets. The teams split the first 2 tight sets, but in the third, Slovenia caught fire, and the current Cuban lineup just couldn't keep up. Solid performance from last year's pool stage winners, and just like Canada, they gift their new head coach a win in his debut official match. Rock-solid game from Rok Mojic, he put up 25 points to become the match's top scorer. The rest of the stats? Right here. China couldn't get a win in their first match to please their new coach, Vital Heinen, but could they maybe give him a nice birthday gift this time? Spoiler alert, yes they could. Masulovic became the prime target for the Chinese servers, which forced the Serbian attackers into some tough situations. And that's when the Chinese block went to work. They took the first set and suddenly looked more confident than ever. Serbia's coach, Krecu, tried to switch things up by putting Peric on the court, but even he couldn't stabilize the reception. The Europeans end up with a well-deserved loss. Chinese outside hitter Ji Daoshuai became the match's top scorer with 13 points. Want to know how the others did? You've got the stats on your screen. Then we had a real showstopper, Poland versus Japan, and turns out you don't always need your starting lineup to play great volleyball. Japan went with the same roster they used against China, giving them a slight edge over Poland's fresh lineup, and they made the most of it in the first set. To give you an idea, Japan was up 24-20 in the opening set, but Poland pulled off the unthinkable. 5 points in one rotation and snatched the set. Gurbic brought on Shalpak and Sasak in set 2. The same guys who helped close the gap earlier. That gave the Poles more attacking firepower, and they took the second set. Tile responded with his own lineup changes, adding more height to the court. Masato Kai stood out, leading the team with confidence. Japan easily took the third. After adapting to Japan's style, Poland turned up the heat and nearly put the match away. But Japan launched a comeback from 11-18 down. Poland had already started celebrating the win, but a net touch by Shalpuk, spotted by the second referee, kept the match going. Final score? 39-37 for Poland. A 5th set would have been perfect here. Top scorer, Poland's opposite, Kevin Sasak, who came off the bench to drop 20 points. Stats from this epic match are already up. Let's wrap it up with 2 amazing matchups. One was a full-blown comeback, and the other featured a comeback that got stopped just in time. First up, Brazil with massive home support looking to snap a rough streak. They had never beaten Cuba in the Nations League before. The home team was close to a strong start, but couldn't convert their set point, allowing Cuba to take set 1. Set 2 also went past 25 points, and once again it was Cuba who came out on top thanks to a clutch attack from Lopez, who didn't even play in the first match. Brazil started their comeback by taking the third, and in set 4 they pulled off a turnaround in just 3 rotations, coming back from 5 points down midway through. But the party didn't go all the way. The 5th set was neck and neck, but Cuba pulled off a slick finish and secured yet another win over Brazil in the Nations League. Top scorer? Marlon Yant with 23 points. That was enough to lead the match. The stat sheet is already up on your screen. Now to the final match of the day, Germany versus Italy in Quebec. Italy managed to blow a huge lead in one rotation and handed the first set to Germany. Riding that momentum, Coach Winiarski's squad took the second set confidently, which forced the Georgi to bring in his captain, Giannelli. A dominant set 3, a late rescue in set 4 and a beautiful 5th set win, all part of a classy Italian comeback. They're still unbeaten. Yuri Romano dropped 25 points and finished as the top scorer. The full match stats are right here for you. Alright, staying focused and keeping you updated on everything happening in the Nations League. Smash that like button for a bit of motivation and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And as always, this was Nick with you. Love what you do, and you'll crush it. See you soon. Ciao!